Alright everyone, it's the end to another year. Well, I'm in the new year. What am I going on about? I think this video is cursed. Every time I try to film this video or just do something in regards to this video, it dies, okay? I'm having to re-record this, so if I kind of seem out of it for this video, that's why. But now that we have that out the way, let's go ahead and get this started. We're going to be going into my top 15 films for 2021. I'm just letting you guys know my favorite film of the year is not essentially a horror film. Alright, it is a genre film, but it's not straight up horror, okay? It has some horror elements, so just getting that out the way as well. So I like what I like. So you guys saw my disappointments and my dislikes for the year, so it's only fair you guys see my favorites. So to get this started, I'm going to have a couple of honorable mentions. First we have Broadcast Signal Intrusion. Really enjoyed this film. It has this noir feel, definitely inspired by Terra the Android, I Feel Fantastic, Max Headroom incident. There are some creepy instances in this film, some great production in regards to these creepy videos that they have. This film I really enjoyed, although there are some parts that are slow and some of the acting is off. That's why I wasn't able to put it onto my top 15, but still an overall film that I think you should definitely check out if you haven't already. Next we have We Need to Do Something. This film is about a family that had to take shelter in their bathroom. I guess that's the most stable area, safe area in their home during a crazy storm. Now, things happen to the effect that this storm brought on some other things, and our main character might have some connection to it. So this film it was pretty good. I enjoyed it for the most part. I think they did very well with keeping it in just one location. It's always hard to do films where, it's just one setting. It's hard to keep the audience attention, but this film was pretty good with that. My only thing is that if it wasn't for Pat Healy's performance, would this film still capture my attention? And I'm not so sure about that. But overall, I would lean towards the positive for We Have to Do Something. Another one is the Forever Purge. This film I really didn't see being a decent, at least decent film for the year 2021, and it definitely surprised me. I actually really like the Forever Purge. It's probably one of my favorites other than Purge 2. Is that Anarchy? I don't know. But yeah, this one, I like the commentary. I like the story overall. This film to me had the most weight and the most fun out of most of this entire series. And then we have Censor. This film is about a woman that works in the video nasties area. She has to censor certain films, and she gets into this rabbit hole where she thinks that her sister is an actress in a film, and she's trying to uncover all the pieces to this puzzle, things of that nature. It was really cool having a film tackle the video nasties area. Like, if you guys don't know what video nasties are, I think Evil Dead was considered a video nasty for quite some time. But these were what they would call almost like extreme films that needed to be censored to be available to the public. So it was cool having them loop that concept into this story that they have. This film was pretty good. The only thing is that it has some spots where it loses you, but for the most part, I enjoyed Censor, and I think it's a film worth watching. So there's a ton of other films that I can put into my honorable mentions, but I feel like this will make this video even longer, so let's just go ahead and move on to my top 15. If I didn't mention certain movies, either I didn't watch them or this would be a long ass freaking video. Alright guys, so for top 15, for number 15, we have VHS 94. When I heard snippets about VHS 94 being a thing, I actually got really excited. Alright, so the series did not leave off on the best of notes with VHS Viral. So having a new film that's actually pretty good is a nice feeling. VHS 94 has, I think, 4 segments. 3 out of the segments I really enjoyed. So that's a good ratio, you guys. I even like the wraparound for the film. So VHS 94 was actually a lot of fun, especially being a straight to Shudder film. Probably one of the best straight to Shudder films for the year. And one of my favorite found footage films for the year as well. At number 14, we have Werewolves Within. This film is a whole lot of fun. It's directed by Josh Rubin. He directed Scare Me last year. This film is based off of video game Werewolves Within. So we could probably say that this is the best video game adaptation of the year. I would say so. This film is hilarious. It's a really cool mystery. It's a whodunit. So if you're into that, you'll definitely like this. And it's very witty. So if you're into witty dialogue, you'll like this as well. Next we have The Last Matinee. This film is highly inspired by Giallo. It takes place in a movie theater, and a serial killer is killing people in the theater, unbeknownst to most of the audience. This film has some inventive kills, great kills may I add. There are some awesome chase sequences. And did I say the kills are awesome? The story isn't the greatest, but for what this film was trying to accomplish, I think they did a great job. This film is striking. It looks absolutely beautiful. If you're into body count films, definitely check out The Last Matinee. For number 12, we have The Vigil. This film is about a former Orthodox Jewish man who takes up a job of being what was it called? A seer or something like that, where it's this ritual where they had to watch over a recently deceased through the night. It's this religious thing, and something happens to the effect that there is another presence at the same time that he's watching over this body, and things get very eerie. This film is super creepy. There are some awesome scares. I didn't really hear much of people praising this film or talking about it, and I definitely think it needs more eyes on it. At number 11, we have The Medium. If you're into mockumentary films, this is one for you. This film is about a shaman who believes that her niece is being possessed. And we're following this character throughout this whole entire ordeal. There are some great scares. There's some awesome night vision surveillance scenes. This film is out of Thailand, so there are some differences with their thoughts on possession, things of that nature. So it's also very fascinating. But the way this is filmed is like a mockumentary. And so if you're into documentaries, this is a mockumentary. So it'll hit that fix for you as well. At number 10, we have Titan. This movie is insane. Oh my god. I just dropped a rhyme. But really, you guys, this movie is crazy. One of the craziest scenes that I can never unsee inside of a car. Anyone's that watched the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But this film is a perfect mix of body horror, psychological horror, and such a crazy story and premise. I can't imagine who would come up with something like this. Julia DeCarnell is really showing that she's a director to watch, so can't wait to see what she has coming next. Because everything she's done so far has been knocked out of the park. Next, we have the Fear Street series. So we're not doing one by one, you know. This is the entire series. I'm ranking it that way. Second one being my favorite. Lee Janiak is such a great director. She's really coming up. Can't wait to see what she has coming next. But her directing style for all of these films are so distinct and well done. Especially for the first one, I really like how she set everything up. It really had that 90s vibe. And she really captured each time period for all of the films. These films are just a lot of fun, and they all tackle different subgenres. The first one is 90s slasher, second one tackles the 80s slasher, and then we have more of like an elevated folk horror. So really cool, really diverse, and these films almost have no right being that good. At number 8, we have Halloween Kills. So many mixed emotions out there with film reviewers and film lovers. This film is very divisive. I mean, I experienced it firsthand. Halloween Kills was just a lot of fun for me, man. It hit all the notes that I wanted it to hit. Yeah, I have a video on it, so if you want to hear my exact thoughts on Halloween Kills, you can check that out. But yeah, it's number 8 here. At number 7, we have Malignant. This is another divisive film. James Wan does it again. He's so good. Great concept for a horror. Great kills, although I don't think it's not a giallo, but you know, this is a really good slasher. And I can definitely see Gabriel becoming a horror icon. And I really do wonder if this is going to issue in a new subgenre of horror or help with reviving the slasher genre. At number 6, we have Saint Maud. Saint Maud was one of those films that left me thinking about it for quite some time. I really enjoy this movie. The acting is excellent. Directing is beautiful. Visually, this movie is excellent. And the ending to this film is so balls to the wall. I really, really liked it. And for being a slow burn, it's actually very well paced. Number 5, we have Antlers. This is, I think, the only creature feature we have here. But this film is more than a creature feature. It has some thematical elements. Kerry Russell is great. She plays such a broken character that you can't help but root for. As well as Jeremy T. Thomas. This kid is so good. You really feel for his character as well. He's sitting in darkness, hearing the screams of agony from his father and young brother. This film is just very well done. Scott Cooper is an excellent director. Can't wait to see what he has coming out next. And I hope he sticks to horror, because he did a pretty good job. At number 4, we have The Nighthouse. David Bruckner, he's showing out, man. He did The Ritual previously, and then he did The Nighthouse, and this film is so good. It looks amazing. Rebecca Hall is excellent. You feel for her character. There are so many twists and turns. The story just changes throughout the film. It really keeps you on your toes. It has a twist that I did not see coming. And the last act is very well done. I really, really, really like The Nighthouse, and that's why it is number 4. Number 3, we have Nightmare Alley. Guillermo del Toro, he does it again. He's so freaking good, man. The character of Stanton Carlisle, so mysterious. You want to learn more about him. And there's something that keeps you kind of off from that character. Bradley Cooper, his performance, it really complements this character. Although it has a middling second act, I could definitely overlook that, especially with the ending. It really ends on a high note for sure. Oh, and an unsung hero, Cate Blanchett. She steals every freaking scene, man. She's so good. And then we have Last Night in Soho. This film is so freaking good. Edgar Wright, his venture into horror, he needs to do more, okay? He needs to do more. He eases you into this world. We're following Ellie as she moves into London and coming across all of these characters that we've all might have met in our own, world. And just her being a fish out of water could be a movie on its own. But then we have the added element that she's being haunted by the past. And it's not her past, so she's trying to uncover what really happened. And the mystery is done so well. Acting is excellent. I love, love, love Anya Taylor-Joy in this film. Thomasin McKenzie knocks it out of the park. Everyone was on their A game for this movie, and I commend them for that. That is why Last Night in Soho is number 2, and is my favorite horror movie for 2021. So my favorite movie in general for 2021 is The Green Knight. This movie, man, I just loved it. And I'm usually not into fantasy type films, but this movie just really captured my attention. It is absolutely beautiful. Dev Patel gives the performance of a lifetime. I really, really, really enjoyed his character. He is so good at emoting. You can really see every feeling he has throughout the film. Whether it's fear, hesitancy, everything. You can see it on his face. He is so good. And just following him on this grim adventure was an experience. And talk about a relatable character. There are times where I feel like if I was to go, what legacy would I leave? What would be there? And that was very relatable. And one of the best endings of the year, seriously. I just loved this movie. And this too was a pretty divisive film. There are some people that it didn't connect to them. But, it hit the sweet spot for me. It really connected with me. And it was an experience. The Green Knight was my favorite film of 2021. You guys, we got through it. We made it. I made it. I tried missing with this video so many times, it feels like. So hopefully everything turns out great here. Oh yeah, I also wanted to talk to you guys about my podcast and my website. That's right, I have a podcast and a website. Website is horrorlives.com. Make sure to check it out. I'm busting out my reviews, my podcasts, as well as some horror news onto that website. So definitely check it out. And my podcast so far, I've done some interviews. I've had an interview with Cheers to Fears. Those guys are awesome. I had Trace from Pierce Productions. And I had Nocturnal Critic on my podcast. Well, definitely check those out. I'll leave the links in the doobly-doo. I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to know, what were some of your favorites for the year, okay? Doesn't all have to be horror. Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. We made it through another year. Let's go ahead and make 22 even better. Alright? Okay. If you haven't already, make sure to leave a like and make sure to subscribe. This is Everything Horror, where we love to talk about everything horror. Take care, peeps.